The world calls me a god, and it's all because my computer can connect to a 2D world. I can give them stuff from the real world. A kitchen knife I casually tossed in became their legendary weapon. And the offerings these little people give me can actually cross over into my world. But what I didn't expect was that their very first offering would scare me half to death. The moment I booted up the game Pixel God, a voice suddenly echoed in my mind. On this day, the world finally welcomes back its great god. Your arrival has given the world meaning once more. When I snapped out of it, the scene on my computer screen started to change. A flat green field appeared on the screen, surrounded by forests and rivers. In the center stood a white dome temple. Then the voice spoke again. This is your temple. Please give it a name. My name's Lin Yao, so I'll just call it the Yao Temple. Just then, two shirtless, barefoot little people appeared in the corner. They made their way over and started walking around the temple. An exclamation point popped up over one of their heads. What a magnificent building. A god must have made this. The other one raised his hands high. This is a sign from our god. This is a blessed land. We have to get more people to settle here. The promised land. Smiley faces appeared over both their heads, and they ran off screen. A few seconds later, they came back with 5 more little people. The 7 of them started worshiping around the temple. They built a small thatched hut next to the temple and brought over some berry bushes from off screen. They started their new life next to the temple. A prompt appeared on the screen. You have gained your first followers in this world. The power of faith is how you perform miracles. Collect more faith. In the top right corner, a small human icon appeared, representing the population. Next to it, a temple icon represented faith. Both the population and faith values were at 7. So, 1 follower provides 1 point of faith. I clicked on the faith menu. A locked orb of light appeared. This was a miracle. It could only be unlocked with a certain amount of faith. The most basic one was rainfall. There were also much more powerful miracles, like the fire of Aegir. The god of the deep sea imprisoned a fire dragon and turned it into a wonder. It can spew out powerful fire giants. Looking at these miracles, I started thinking. So, in other words, I'd need 10 followers to perform even 1 basic miracle. Increasing the population was now my top priority. Unlike other simulation games, Mystery Simulator doesn't let you directly build houses or produce resources. You have to wait for the little pixel people to reproduce or gather on their own. I could only watch them farm. Just then, I noticed the little people around the temple were acting strange. Sad faces appeared over their heads. They gathered around the temple, praying. Great God, we beg you to show us a sign. Please bless us. Great God, the forest tribe believes we worship a demon. They want to tear down your temple. Please show them your divine power. I got it instantly. This was my followers' first crisis, but I only had 7 faith points. I couldn't even make it rain. I kept exploring the interface. Finally, I clicked on the temple and a new interface popped up. In the center was a stone bonfire. In front of the fire was a gray humanoid statue. The face was blurry. You couldn't tell if it was male or female. It seemed to be their idea of what a god looked like. In front of the statue was a long table. On the table were 2 slots. The large one on the left was labeled Offering. The small one on the right was labeled Blessing. Right now, both were empty. Offering is easy enough to understand. So blessing must be for powers or items the god gives to the followers. Could this be the miracle they were asking for? But then I noticed something weird. That long table, it looked familiar. Wait, that table looked exactly like my computer desk. The offering slot was a perfect rectangle, just like my keyboard. The blessing slot was oval. Could that be my mouse? And looking closer, wasn't that statue of me? The thought startled me. Then a crazy idea popped into my head. I carefully placed a clove of garlic from my desk onto my mouse. I stared, full of anticipation. 2 seconds later, the garlic clove rolled off the mouse. Just a coincidence, I guess, I thought to myself. Just then, the garlic clove that had rolled off suddenly vanished into thin air. I instinctively looked at the screen. In the temple's blessing slot, a pixelated garlic icon had appeared. Clicking the icon revealed some text. God's blessing, a special spice, also a medicinal herb. Do you wish to bestow the garlic upon your followers? I literally jumped. I ran a lap around my apartment, then splashed my face with cold water. Once I calmed down and got back to my desk, the garlic was definitely for real in the blessing slot. This meant the garlic from my desk had actually been sent into the temple through my mouse. I have no idea what the deal is with this game, or how it can break the 4th wall like this, but I was curious to see what would happen when the real world and the game world interacted. What would be the result? So I clicked yes. The little people praying outside the temple all had exclamation points pop up over their heads. The god has shown us a sign. The god has sent down a miracle.
Great God.
Thank you for your blessing of garlic. The garlic bestowed by our god. After kneeling and praying, the little people ran around spreading the news. Smiley faces appeared over all their heads. They all got busy, working together to clear a patch of farmland. Tiny sprouts grew in the field, slowly turning into green seedlings. A new message appeared on the screen. Your blessing has taught your followers how to plant and use garlic. Your faith has increased. The faith value in the top right corner jumped from 7 to 22. Looks like blessings are a quick way to gain faith. Next, I grabbed a pencil from my desk. I figured a tool would be super useful for a tribal civilization. But when I opened the menu, the garlic was still in the blessing slot. Clicking it showed a message. Garlic is being integrated into the world. Please wait patiently. So I had to give up on that idea. I had only just started this game, so I was still figuring out a lot of the mechanics. About half an hour later, a group of little people ran in from off-screen. They were all wearing leather vests. The leader wore a horned helmet and carried a wooden spear. They surrounded the temple, holding torches. The demon's hut must be destroyed. You followers of this demon, burn it all down. So this was the forest tribe. that my followers had mentioned. The forest tribe thought my temple housed a demon. My 7 followers all had exclamation points over their heads. This is our god's palace. It's the Yao Temple. Our god sent us a miracle, the miracle of garlic. But the forest tribe wouldn't listen. They just kept shouting about burning it down. I opened the miracles menu. I hovered my mouse over the first option, rainfall. If I made it rain, these primitive little guys would probably think their god was angry. But then I thought, no, if I'm gonna do something, I should go big. I looked further down the list. The miracles were listed by faith caused from lowest to highest. Rainfall was 10, lightning was 20, scorching sun was 25, hurricane 30, and earthquake 40. Right now, I only had 22 faith, so I locked onto lightning. You're the one. I clicked on lightning. My cursor turned into a dragon select area icon. I narrowed the area of effect, locking it right onto the head of the forest tribe's leader. As they say, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. With great power comes great responsibility. Eat my heavenly thunder! With a light click of the mouse, a bolt of lightning shot down from the pixel sky, striking the guy in the horned helmet. It blew him and 2 others nearby to smithereens. The rest of the forest tribe had exclamation points pop up over their heads. They scattered and fled. Only my 7 followers had angry faces appear. Divine punishment! You angered our god! This is what happens to blasphemers. I was very satisfied. It feels pretty good to be worshipped as a god. I relaxed a bit. My neck was feeling a little sore. This game doesn't have a lot of controls, but it's strangely addictive. I'd been playing until midnight without even realizing it, even though I didn't want to stop. I turned off the computer, washed up, and went to bed. After all, I had work tomorrow. Lying in bed, I thought to myself drowsily, if I can create natural disasters and keep giving things from the real world to the people in the game, then in the eyes of these little pixel people, I really am no different from a god. The next day, as soon as I got off work, I couldn't wait to open up Mystery Simulator. I clicked Continue Game. The familiar pixelated world slowly loaded in. I breathed a sigh of relief. Thank God the save file wasn't corrupted, but the scene on the screen surprised me. There were now 5 thatched huts next to the temple. In front of each hut was a small farm plot, growing garlic. The population in the top right corner had jumped from 7 to 30, and my faith was at 25. I did the math. Yesterday I used 1 lightning strike, so my faith should have been down to 2. Now it's 25. That's a total increase of 23 points. The population also increased by 23. This proved my theory was right. Under normal circumstances, 1 new follower brings 1 point of faith. More importantly, this game keeps running even when it's not open on my computer. It runs in the background. A prompt appeared. Your followers are now numerous enough to establish a tribe. Please give it a name. I casually typed in garlic, following the simple naming customs of ancient times. The specialty of these followers is the garlic I gave them, so calling them the Garlic Tribe made sense. Your miracles and blessings have allowed the Garlic Tribe to formally establish the Yao Temple. It is now known to more people from distant lands. I focused my attention on the new population. Those 23 new pixel people were all wearing leather vests, completely different from my original 7 shirtless followers. They were from the Forest Tribe. A part of the Forest Tribe had joined my side and settled here. Last night's lightning strike tactic worked like a charm. Whether out of fear or admiration, they were definitely drawn in. With a larger population, a simple division of labor emerged. The tribe members were no longer just farming garlic and tending to the temple. 2 of them started hunting in the forest, and another was by the river, trying to catch fish with his bare hands. Overall, the Garlic Tribe was still in a pretty primitive stage. All the members were working hard just to get food. I opened the temple interface. The garlic was still in the blessing slot. Looks like the cooldown isn't short. If I'd known I could send real-world things into the pixel world, I would have chosen wheat. That would have solved their early food shortage. Or I could have sent a bow and arrow. Once they mastered archery, hunting would be much easier, and they'd have a way to fight back against the Forest Tribe. Just then, my gaze shifted down, and I suddenly saw something that wasn't there before. There was a red object in the offering slot. I hovered my mouse over it. It was a red creature, curled up in a ball. It looked like some kind of newborn animal. The text prompt read, "A Garlic Tribe infant offered to the god as a sacrifice." My face twitched. Human sacrifice definitely fits the customs of a primitive tribe worshipping a god. A prompt appeared. "Do you wish to accept the Garlic Tribe infant offered by your followers?" I slammed the no button. If a baby just randomly appeared in my apartment, I'd have a lot of explaining to do. The cops would be knocking on my door. What's even scarier is, what if the Garlic Tribe keeps sending me babies? Just thinking about the cost of formula and diapers made my head spin. Dude, I'm a god, not your tribe's daycare provider. As I rejected the offering, exclamation points popped up over everyone's heads. The god is not pleased. The god doesn't want babies. I told you we shouldn't use a baby. It should be an adult, someone who can farm and pick fruit for the god. No, we should use prey. The best prey. The god would definitely like a wild boar. I think it's fish. Fish is the best. Go find a new offering. Watching the little pixel people argue, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But hey, if they sent me some wild game or fresh fish, I could make a nice late-night snack. The entire tribe, except for 5 people who stayed behind, ran off into the nearby forests and mountains. They looked around, apparently searching for a suitable offering. Just then, I noticed one pixel person who was different from the rest. He was one of my first followers. Still shirtless, he stood outside the temple, looking up at the sky. A question mark appeared over his head. I hovered my mouse over the question mark. A thought bubble popped up, showing his inner thoughts. What kind of offering does the god truly need? He doesn't need infants, so he probably doesn't need servants. He blessed our tribe with the magical garlic. The world where the god lives must not lack for food. The Forest Tribe desecrated the temple. was immediately struck by divine punishment. The god must possess a power we can't even imagine. Our things are meaningless to the god. So, only those magical things that we can't understand or use. Would the god possibly accept? Then the question mark turned into a lit light bulb. He seemed to have figured something out. He trotted off into the dense forest. I was pretty impressed. This little guy's thinking ability was clearly a cut above the rest. It was like he had awakened true intelligence. A little while later, he ran out of the forest, holding an item in both hands, and entered the temple. A new icon appeared in the offering slot. It looked like a short staff made of polished wood. The text prompt read, "Staff of Vigor. Restores 1 point of energy and faith per hour. This is a treasure made by the god of the forest. It can absorb the overflowing life force of nature. The wielder can draw vigorous energy from it upon contact. It was lost after the fall of the god of the forest. Do you wish to accept the Staff of Vigor offered by your follower?" I clicked yes. The staff icon in the offering slot disappeared, and a short staff about the length of my forearm appeared on my black keyboard. My palms started to sweat, even though I had a hunch that blessings could be passed into the pixel world through the temple. Then, theoretically, offerings could also be passed back from that world. But seeing it actually happen right in front of me, I couldn't help but hold my breath. I carefully picked up the staff. It wasn't heavy, about the weight of a normal piece of wood. The surface was covered in vertical grains, but it felt smooth and fine to the touch, like it was coated in a clear varnish. The top of the staff had 2 short branches, like a broken Y-shaped stick, but there were tiny green buds growing on the branches, giving it a sense of life. Holding the Staff of Vigor, I felt a jolt of energy run through my body. The soreness in my back and waist vanished. It was like I was 14 or 15 again. After pulling an all-nighter gaming, I could just sleep it off and be full of energy again. Magical items from the pixel world actually work in the real world. A line of text appeared on the staff. Vigor! Maximum duration, 12 hours! In other words, as long as I hold this staff, theoretically I don't need to sleep. The next day, whether I'm at work or in class, I won't feel sleepy at all. I was thrilled. I waved the staff around excitedly for a bit before calming down. Wait, that's not the main point. The point is that offerings can actually be brought out of the pixel world. Without a doubt, there are other magical items in the pixel world just like this Staff of Vigor. If I can get a steady stream of them through the temple, then this game is an endless treasure trove. I felt totally refreshed. With the temple's dimension-breaking ability, it won't be long before I can escape this miserable 9-to-5 life and reach the top. Then I turned my attention back to the game. The pixel people were returning to the tribe. Smiley faces appeared over their heads. It's great that the god liked the offering, so that's the kind of offering the god likes. I'll definitely find something even better. I still think the wild boar is the best. The god would definitely like a wild boar. A boar is way better than that stick. I noticed the 2 little guys obsessed with the boar and the fish were both from the forest tribe. They were wearing leather vests. I guess the forest tribe mostly gathers and hunts, so it's understandable they think prey is the best gift. I scanned the crowd of little people, trying to find the one who offered the Staff of Vigor, but these little guys all looked identical. They didn't have names over their heads or any unique features. It was hard to tell them apart. But after some searching, I finally found him inside the temple, shirtless and barefoot. He still had a question mark over his head. A new message appeared on the screen. A follower has developed intelligence. Do you wish to transform him into a prophet? In many ancient cultures, a prophet is someone who receives divine revelation and communicates the god's will. This pixel person who found the Staff of Vigor definitely fit the bill. In this pixel world, I needed someone who could understand what I wanted, even if they could only understand a small part. It was better than having a bunch of them guessing blindly. I really didn't want another baby appearing in the offering slot. I immediately clicked yes. The Garlic Tribe has its first prophet. Under the prophet's leadership and influence, everyone's intelligence has slightly increased. The prophet knelt before the statue in worship, then walked out of the temple. As soon as he appeared, all the other pixel people gathered around him. As if they knew he had received the god's favor, the prophet said, "The offering our god needs is a magical item that we cannot understand or control. So from now on, if you see anything like that, offer it to the god. That will earn the god's favor. The prophet is right. Listen to the prophet, find magical items. That magical wild boar. I know of a white magical wild boar. No one has ever been able to catch it. I've seen a magical fish in the water. It eats all flesh and bone. It's very magical. The god will definitely love it." I looked speechlessly at the last 2 pixel people who spoke. Sure enough, they were both wearing leather vests. Even without any markings or names, I could tell at a glance they were the same 2 from before. Their obsession with the boar and the fish was as obvious as a firefly in the night. You couldn't miss it, even though the prophet told the others what kind of offerings to look for. For the next 3 hours, none of the pixel people found anything. Most of them went back to their normal lives, planting garlic and berries, and then eating them. Soon after, 2 new babies were born in the tribe. The pixel people started assigning members to take care of the newborns. The only one I could control and guide was the prophet. I could only move him to a specific location. Whether he'd understand what I wanted, or what he'd find, was all up to him. After watching for a while, it was already 6:30 p.m. I was getting hungry. I went downstairs to a small restaurant and ordered some fried rice. I scarfed it down and hurried back. On the screen, the Garlic Tribe had a new problem. A black bear had wandered into the village. It had destroyed 2 farm plots and a hut. There were also the bodies of 2 pixel people on the ground. Most of the villagers were hiding behind the temple, trembling. The prophet stood by the side of the temple, holding the tribe's 2 babies. The black bear was 2 or 3 times the size of a pixel person. To them, it was a giant monster. It was tearing at the bodies on the ground. I finally got 2 new followers. And this population generates faith. And you just show up and start killing them? Eat my divine justice! Just as I was about to fire off a lightning bolt, I suddenly noticed something was different. Two of the villagers were confronting the black bear. They were wearing leather vests and holding wooden clubs. They circled the bear, one in front and one behind, constantly whacking its head and its rear, shouting as they moved.